Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the double dating subject. Very broad topic. We started defining it last week, touched a little bit here and there, but today we're going way deeper because it's a very broad topic like I talked about. And we have some really good points I think would help you guys and help us. And we have a few questions for you guys to answer. Enjoy part 2. In my opinion, once you start double dating, once this is your norm in your teens, in your 30s, in your early 20s, whenever, when you do decide to get married, I feel like it follows you.
Of course.
You can't, it's like a leopard can't change its spots, really. It will follow you. If you felt that it was okay to be committed to one person and still think, I can still sleep with A, B, C, and D at the same time, even though I'm committed to this person, it's okay. So what's going to change your mind in marriage? What's the difference here? Aside from the fact that yes, you are legally married, you've got a ring on your finger, your name probably changes, it's still the same principle.
Of course,
you still have to be committed.
It's just like any other habit. We say by 16 on average, you formed your habits, and unless you have some kind of neuro-linguistic programming practitioner come and help you to change your habits.
Or like some epiphany that's out of this world.
Yeah, you continue with that habit. It's just like if you squeeze the toothpaste tube from the middle, you're not suddenly going to start squeezing it from the end just because you have a ring on your finger and you live in a house with a man now or a woman now. If you comb your hair every morning before you bath and then comb it again, you're still going to do that same thing when you get married.
So it does follow you.
It does follow you. It's the same thing. And even more so, I don't even want to go the religious route, but just from a moral perspective, you're talking about etiquette, as far as sexuality again is concerned. A lot of the conversation is always, you try different things with one woman or one man, and when your wife or your husband can't give those things to you in the bedroom, you start getting iffy and you want to go look for what you had before.
Right.
And I mean, it's absolutely true.
My question to that is, why can't you teach your spouse how to do those things? Why can't you do those things to your spouse? And then I know that it's exploring your sexuality can be tricky, it can be scary, it can be a bit difficult. You don't know, it's like stepping into dark waters. You don't know what you're going to find in there.
Definitely.
Right? But at the same time, you never know. You may tell your wife this, or you may tell your husband this, and they may be open to it, and they may actually like it.
Very true. But I was having a very interesting conversation with a friend a couple of days ago, and he is married, and yeah, he has his side meals, his starters and his desserts. And I was asking him, I said, what is it that you don't get enough from home? What is it? Why did you get married? He said, well, I'm happy in my marriage. If for nothing at all, I have companionship. I like going home and having somebody to share my trials with, my joys with, my successes with. But it's not always about the sex. And I said, okay, if that's the case, then why do you look for sex outside your home, outside of your marriage? And he said, well, my wife is quote unquote not a bad girl. She's never been. And so I respect her too much.
So what does a bad girl mean, firstly?
Exactly.
What does a bad girl mean?
So what does it, why can't you broach this conversation with her? He said, I respect her too much to have that conversation. So again, that paradox, you respect her, but you're sleeping with someone else outside of
So you don't respect that person.
I don't understand.
And being knowledgeable when it comes to sex is not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Willing to experiment when it comes to sex is not a bad thing.
Of course not.
If you want to do it like upside down and
especially not if you're
topsy-turvy,
doing it
you're allowed to do that.
Your marriage. I mean, by all standards, religious, moral, social.
That's the one place you should be free.
Yeah.
You can experiment. You can do whatever you need to do.
So it's really, but so for me, putting that into context with what we're talking about habits and old habits dying hard, I really do think it has a lot to do with habit. You're doing something before you got married and you've carried it into your marriage. And hey, what even drives it home more for me is the fact that in our society, Kuda, how many times have you not spoken to somebody who has said, that's when a man do cheat. So
you just manage. Once you find one, manage him like that.
Manage him. Yeah, at least if he takes care of the home, he likes children, and he helps you, it's okay. You take it like that.
But no, I shouldn't have to.
That's not what I want.
Second Image international admissions in progress. Courses available include hairdressing, beauty therapy and fashion. Call us on 0243 331 999. Evening and weekend classes are also available.
I go to I've been to a certain, I'll just say golf club, right? I've been sitting there, played their game, done, it's time for food and trophies and all that sort of stuff. All these men are here with their wives, right? Enjoying themselves, this, that and the other. Once it's a certain time, it's like clockwork, all of the wives leave. And as they're leaving, a car's coming in with a bunch of girls, and those girls already know who their marks are. So it's sort of like a merry-go-round. It happens every time, so they know, okay, fine, I'm going to sit next to him, I'm going to sit next to him, I'm for him, I'm for him. They all go and sit there, and it's okay. They know, so someone like me, they know, I know their wives. But the fact that they can do it in front of anybody and not care.
And they probably even know your parents.
Absolutely. They can do it in front of me and not care that I know their wives. It shows that we have a massive problem, a very, very big problem.
We do have a big problem. And you know, somebody I love and respect so much, a man, he was saying, when we discussed that we're going to talk about this, I ran it by him. And he said to me, he said, I hope you're going to talk about it from a cultural and societal perspective as well. And he said he's saying this because he knows a man who will chase anyone and anything when he's in Ghana. But once he's back in the States with his wife,
You don't play those games.
No.
You don't play those games.
No.
Why? Because
even
in
looking
that
elsewhere.
society, it's not acceptable.
Right.
That's not the norm.
It's not that people don't do it, they do. But
They go to all sorts of lengths to hide
Exactly.
it, to make sure their wives never find out. That's how normal it has become in our culture, in our society, and I think it is unacceptable. There has to be something wrong with you morally to be able to do
something wrong
that.
with us.
With all of us.
Something wrong with us. So, I mean, I want our those who are watching us to tell us, do you think it's social? Do you think it's just our moral status as a
We got
society?
problems.
Do you think it's political? Do you think it's economic? What is the problem? What is wrong with us?
Right.
What is wrong with us? And you see, I mean, before we go, I just want to say, make sure that when you're getting married, you know, don't mess marriage up for people who want to get into it at some point. Because you see, you do these things, and a lot of people now in our society, young people are afraid to get married. They see marriage as a big game, something that you can live without, not important.
And not to cut you,
know.
we actually know a young lady that has said, I'm not going to bother getting married. Why? Because it's just going to lead to divorce.
Exactly.
I'm not going to bother.
Exactly.
Why am I not going to bother? I'm going to get married, my husband's going to cheat on me, I'm going to get upset, I'm going to divorce him. What's the point?
Exactly. You know, yesterday my parents celebrated 38 years of marriage. They've had their ups and downs. They've had their bits and pieces of even what we're discussing maybe. But at the end of the day, there's something I want to tell young single people, and I mean single people in generally, but more so young single people. Don't get married because of money. Don't get married because he's handsome or she's beautiful. Don't get married because everybody is getting married. Don't get married because you want to have a nice wedding so
Or have
everybody
children.
have children within wedlock so that you look respectable. That's
Right.
not what marriage is about. Don't mess marriage up for people who are actually enjoying it and doing it the way, at least if you're religious, God intended it to be, or the way we're supposed to see it, the way it's supposed to look. Don't mess it up. I mean, by all means, again, not judging anybody. Everybody's entitled to what they want to do. But you see, when you do something and in the end it's going to affect the rest of the society and the people around you, then it means you're not being responsible. It means that you're allowing your actions and your inactions to affect the rest of the space around you. And that is not okay.
Exactly. All right, so with that, guys, we are done. It's a wrap. All right, my 2 cents today. Firstly, I want to ask you guys to give us an idea. We may not know, we may think we know, but we don't know. What are the reasons that this is so prevalent in our society, in our culture? Why is it okay? Why do we accept these things? Why do we accept them as norms? And I do know that we accept it more when men do it. When women do it, then all of a sudden we're prostitutes, ashawo and all sorts of things.
Slut-shaming.
Slut shaming and doing all sorts of funny things. I want you guys to tell us, educate us, and let's educate everybody else as to why these things are happening, and see if we can sort of, you know, change the course in which we're going, right? At the same time, everybody's allowed to do whatever they want. I'm not taking that away from you. If you want to sleep with 10 people, that's okay. But make sure these 10 people know that you're sleeping with all of them at the same time. If you want to cheat on your wife, your girlfriend, whoever it is, if you want to cheat on your husband, your boyfriend, or whoever it is, make sure you are both on the same page. You both know that this is what's acceptable in your relationship. No double standards. No, it's just me. I can cheat. You can't cheat. This, that, and the other. Let's not do that. Let's make sure we're all on the same course. We are all driving towards the same goal. If it's a successful marriage, so be it. If it's a successful relationship, then so be it. But ultimately, you guys tell us, why do we keep doing these things, and why is it acceptable in Ghana, in our society, in our culture? And we'll see you guys next time.